Hey, what's up everyone? JT here. Welcome to Pineapple Money, where I talk about stock market news as well as investing for the long-term portfolio. I just wanted to make a quick update video today on Hyliion. Looks like of today, October 19th, Hyliion is down 5% in the normal trading hours as well as 1% in the after hours. And we just ended the market about 30 so minutes ago. But in general, I would say if you're invested in Hyliion, you're probably sick of seeing these red days just like me. But I would say there are some news that came out last Friday, and I just wanted to make a quick video on that. But before we get to that, I also want to say that it looks like today in general, October 19th, the market in general is selling off, probably into anticipation of stimulus talks with Nancy Pelosi and Stephen Mnuchin. But before we get to the news, I want to say that I recently just created this YouTube channel, so if you find anything interesting in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. I would super appreciate that. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for more content. I would love that as well. Just don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own diligence before investing anything. Thank you so much. I'm sure if you're invested in Hyliion, you probably already know, but BONITAS Research, which is a short seller, released their explanation on why they are short selling Hyliion. And if you aren't aware, or you are aware, I'm going to go through a couple points with them, and you can just follow along with me. So let's take a look at that article. So on the first page itself, you can kind of see you have the man himself, Jim Cramer, which what they have on their first page right here. So let's take a look.
Hyliion feels much closer to being a reality than most of these early stage electric vehicle plays. And they've clearly put a lot of thought into how to get their technology out there without needing to upend the entire trucking industry. Of course, the dirty secret here is that Hyliion's not necessarily an electric vehicle play. They're working on electric powertrains for trucks that run on diesel and natural gas.
Well, looking back from the video, I personally would say that Cramer is partly true on some aspects, but he's true that right now, currently, Hyliion is retrofitting their Class 8 commercial trucks with their hybrid powertrain system. And that isn't really an EV play. But once they get the Hypertruck ERX out, which runs on RNG, renewable natural gas, this will help power their electric motors, and that can change. But we won't know until Hyliion gets there. Cramer puts a price target for Hyliion around $20, which I say is pretty more cynical than what I'm thinking. I personally would put my own buy for Hyliion around sub 25. But $20, of course, if it reaches there, I'll be buying more too. In general, I think it's always very interesting to take a look at the short sellers and their points, because having a holistic view is kind of important, especially when you're investing your own money into a company. And just looking at the table of contents right here, you can see that they're tackling specific points. Just looking briefly at their points though, you can kind of see right here these 7 points. I would just like to say, in my opinion, it seems like most of these points, the short sellers are just throwing dirt at Hyliion, which is fine because that is their opinion, and everyone has that right. But I would say anyone who's interested in their own company, such as Hyliion, you should do your own research. I'm not going to go through all the points, but I'm going to go over the points that I actually do kind of find interesting. So the first point I kind of find interesting is this one. Dana is not interested in using Hyliion's tech themselves. So if you're not aware, Dana is one of the world's largest producers and suppliers of axles and electric motors into the trucking industry, which the short seller does mention that Dana is not interested in using this technology from Hyliion. Well, in the short seller's report, it is clear that Dana is trying to develop their own technology, which I actually don't see a problem with that because they're also a company themselves. And it's also public knowledge that Hyliion and Dana have a relationship and a partnership together. And from what I can gather online is that Hyliion's partnership with Dana is that Hyliion's pretty much using Dana to help utilize their manufacturing facilities to help produce Hyliion's products and install them to commercial trucks. And I would say that's actually a more efficient way for Hyliion to put out their products, since they don't have to focus on also manufacturing their own drivetrains. And they can just stick to what they know, which is development of their technology. And going back up to the table of contents, the other one I'm actually pretty interested in is the Hypertruck ERX tech supported by 0 Hyliion patents. So let's go down to that one right here. That's not this one right here. All right. So I would say in regards to the Hypertruck ERX, of course, that's going to be Hyliion's future, which is going to be running on RNG. The short seller's only argument for that one is that they have is their patent pretty much that Hyliion hasn't filed yet. From my understanding, it seems like the Hypertruck ERX patents are patent pending, so I don't think it will show up. But I'm not sure about that, so let's also just continue further. See what they're posting about. So BONITAS RESEARCH is also saying how they are comparing the Hypertruck ERX to CNG and LNG. To me, it seems like the short sellers don't understand what the Hypertruck ERX is trying to push forwards. The Hypertruck ERX is running on RNG, which is renewable natural gas, while these trucks are CNG, which is compressed natural gas, and they don't seem to know the difference because CNG is just outpowered, is pretty much outpowered and basically using a combustion engine to power these trucks, which is a very, very big difference when using the Hypertruck ERX, which is using RNG, which is powered and converted through a CNG generator to then power the electric motors in the trucks. So that's pretty much that. And in general, it kind of just goes through a bunch of other things that, to me, it seems like the short sellers are just throwing dirt at Hyliion. In the end, if you are interested in looking at the short sellers research, BONITAS research, I'll leave a link to them in the description down below. In my opinion, just looking at the short sellers report, I'm not really scared of anything regarding to Hyliion since it's just dirt and they haven't really targeted Hyliion for their main mission. Granted, I still expect some volatility with the stock ahead, and once they do trend down below 25 and maybe even to 23 and lower, I would plan to pick up some more shares. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Hyliion and the short seller report, and are you still holding shares at all? Thank you so much for watching. Peace.